Known
Your
everywhere
life.
joining us outside West Africa. Yes, so good afternoon, everyone. Hope we are doing well. My name is Yemi Orimolade, and I will be moderating this session today. So let's get into this. When something breaks at home, one of the first questions many Nigerians will ask is, who knows someone? That means, do we know somebody who can fix an AC? Do we know somebody who can fix our plumbing issues? Do we have somebody that can help us fix our electrical work? Or somebody who does carpentry, cleaning, or installations, right? But finding someone is just the beginning of that whole conversation. There is the trust issue. Can I allow this person into my house? If we start a conversation today, if there is something else that he needs to do, that entire process, and of course, there's always going to be that conversation around price. But before we get into this long gist, right? Today's conversation is therefore not just about finding artisan. It's about the three issues that determine whether a service experience succeeds or fail. So there is the trust, there's the process management, and there is security, right? Our topic today is who knows someone, the trust process, the process, and the security in Nigeria's home service economy. Right. And that is our conversation for today. But once again, this is the first episode of the Workman Webcast Series. And again, my name is Yemi Orimolade. I will be moderating this session. So let's jump into the two individuals that will be helping us demystify the conversation for today. Here in the room, we have two important individuals from the Workman team, and they are Adedoye and Chidebere. I will key in them now so that they introduce themselves and tell us what they do at Workman. So over to you, Adedoye. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us on this amazing day. We hope you've had a great day so far. My name is Adedoyin Kolaole, and I'm the digital communications manager at Workman. Thank you for joining us once again, and we hope that by the end of this session, we've answered a lot of questions that you have, and we are able to demystify the gaps and the problems in the artisan industry in Nigeria. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Adedoye. Really, really appreciate you. All right. Next up will be Chidebere. So Chidebere, let's hear from you. Chidebere, are you here with us? Okay. So I think Chidebere will join us in a bit. Okay. Chidebere will join us in a bit. So while we wait, while Chidebere joins us, I don't know if we can kick off the conversation, right?
Yes,
I don't know if we can
absolutely.
kick off the
Yes.
conversation.
Yes, definitely.
Fantastic. So let's get into this first question, right? And please, for the audience, if you're joining us, if you do have any question at all, please put it in the chat room. It's very, very important so that we also are very inclusive in this conversation. So it's not just myself, Adedoye, and Chidebere having this conversation. We also want to hear your views, your thoughts, and probably real life situations that you found yourself in, so that we bring it into the conversation. And my two experts, my two guests here, will do justice to it. So I just needed to say that. So Adedoye, let's get this started. So when people say that they want a trusted artisan, what do you think they actually mean when they use that word, a trusted artisan?
Honestly, I would say it's really what it implies, trusted. But for Nigerians generally, I think it goes way beyond, the surface level, especially when you think of the fact that a lot of people, like every person, has had this very terrible experience with one artisan or another. So it's really not something that we take lightly. That trusted is a word that, that means a lot of things. It means that, can I trust this person to come into my home? Can I trust the job that this person is going to do? Can I trust that I'm going to be satisfied? Can I trust that there won't be any stories after this service has been offered? And if, again, like I said, if you look at a whole lot of, if you put together 10 Nigerians, I can categorically say that 10 out of 10 will tell you one of the bad or two of the bad experiences they've had with this artisan. So in Nigeria, when someone say they want a trusted artisan, it goes way beyond, oh, just trusted. There's also the accountability part. If something goes wrong, who is going to be accountable for it? There have been situations where an artisan would, do a job halfway, then ghost. There'll be situations where someone will pay an artisan for a particular job, and they just don't come after that. They're just like, nowhere to be found. So for Workman, what we have been trying to do is, take away that fear. Like, you can get someone, and when we say trusted, we actually mean trusted. We mean that we've verified these artisans, they've gone through a thorough vetting process. We mean that nobody is coming to your home without having passed through a verification process from us. We can vouch for each and every one of the artisans on our platform. It also means that these artisans don't get your money until you are satisfied with the job, which is what our escrow feature do. So this building that trusted platform for them is what we have managed to do over the last 5 years, and we are still doing. It also means that whenever something happens regarding this job, we take 100% responsibility for it. We have the 30-day money back guarantee that ensures that any user can always come back within 30 days. If you book an artisan or workman to fix something for you and something goes wrong within 30 days to that same thing that he has fixed, you can always come back to us and we'll ensure that this artisan comes back. So trusted artisan in Nigeria means, like, can I trust someone to come into my home? Can I trust that this person is going to do the right job? Can I trust that this person won't go away with my money? And can I trust that if something happens to this job that this person is doing, would there be someone that will be held accountable for it? So that's what it means. That is what I see it as, especially when it comes to what we do at Workman.
So thank you so much, Adedoye. I think you have, laid a fantastic foundation for the conversation for today. I hear you talk about you demystified what trust is. That means, first off, uh, if the customer is not satisfied, you can't pay the artisan, right? And of course, work is done to ensure that what you're asking to get fixed is what gets fixed, right? So using that as a premise, they doing right. So which creates the greatest service risk as at today? Because when we talk about trust, we try as much as possible to tie that into the risk. So which out of these three as at today, and I would really appreciate if you can also which is more risky as at today. So process management, or it's just lack of trust. So in today's context, when we look at this whole artisan, ecosystem or the value chain, do we say the biggest risk today is lack of skill, poor process management, or just lack of trust, as it were?
First of all, I'm going to say that the major issue is not lack of skills, because trust me, we have a lot of skilled professionals in Nigeria. We really do. That is one thing I can say, that we have a lot of skilled professional in Nigeria. I think it's just process management. Honestly, a lot of majority of we Nigerians are just very anyhow people. In fact, you can even trace this to the top, even with our leaders. They don't like to be held accountable. I don't think accountability even exists in some Nigerians' dictionary. So when there is a process management, then you realize that people can actually do the right thing when they need to do it. And that is some of what we have learned over time with Workman. The fact that there is a system that keeps them in check. there's a system that makes sure that these artisans act right. We have a lot of policies and guidelines that that we reinforce to our artisans every now and then. We send it through email, we sensitize them every year through the artisan convention. We also know that there's repercussion, there's consequence for everything you do wrong on this platform. We've had artisans that we've blocked totally from the platform, that they can't come back into the system. It's like once you fault on one of our rules, one of our policies, one of our guidelines, that's it for you. So the process management, I think that is where the issue is, because we've realized over the years that we've been able to like get some artisans to act right just from them knowing that this is a system, this is a process that we have put in place, this is how Workman operates, and you have to either abide by our rules or you are off the platform. It's not to say that we've not had several experiences of artisans who would still do the wrong thing, but it has been able to like keep them in check. It puts it at a minimal, and we've been able to like manage that ecosystem. Our artisans ecosystem has grown like greatly over the years, and there are like very, very, like I said, skilled artisans. So I don't think it's a problem of lack of skill or lack of, I think it's the process management, because it's one thing that we have been able to manage over the years, and we've been able to like see that when these people know that there's consequences for every actions and inactions, then yeah, they are able to act right.
Much are they doing? I think we go on a commercial break now, pending when the moderator comes in for a few seconds. The audience, hold on. Let's listen and see how Workman performs the trust economy.
Toye gets home late at night after a long day at work. He gets home and he realizes every other apartment in the neighborhood has light except his. His frustration had hit its max capacity at this point because he has to round up work on his task before the next work day. Does he sleep in the dark or download the Wrkman app to get a professional electrician around him to connect his apartment's power back? We'll let Toye decide. Wrkman, get reliable artisans around you in a matter of minutes.
Okay, welcome back. So let's have you, Chidebere. We have been talking about the trust economy pending when Orimolade comes in. You have heard what Adedoyin has described, how she has described the trust economy in Nigeria today. So what exactly is Workman doing differently, and why is the brand redefining the service landscape or service sector, as the case may be? What are you doing differently, and what is it that Nigerians can learn from what you are doing differently?
Thank you.
I mean, this question is for Chidebere.
All right, thank you, Mr. Celestin. Let me know if you can hear me clearly.
Are you with us, Chidebere?
Yes, I am. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, great. My name is Chidebere Ogu. I'm the head of marketing at Workman, and it's glad to be here to take a cue from your question and address what the trust economy is in Nigeria. So I'll start with what Workman is doing differently. So what we are doing differently is building trust. That's basically what we are doing differently, building trust. And to build trust, we are using accountability and verification. So what we do is we don't just bring in artisans, because we know the artisan economy in Nigeria is, like Donya said, there's a lot of anyhowness in it. So what we do is we make sure our artisans are accountable before we even send them out. So we do our verifications, we do our background check, we do a lot of KYCs when we bring them in. So we don't bring in random artisans, because we know these are still the same people from, in quotes, the streets. So even bringing them into the platform, they need to be reorientated. So what we do differently is we sensitize our artisans, reorientate them from thinking they can pull a smart one on customers, and changing that mentality of they can make quick money from customers rather than doing the job. So that's what we do differently in the artisan space. And for the user space and the customer space, we provide a platform that makes it easy for them to source these artisans, which is the Workman app. So on the Workman app, you have access to a wide range of service categories and a wide range of artisans. Think about it like how your Uber connects you to your drivers. So the Workman app connects you with artisans within your location. So we have the geolocation feature that triangulates from where you are and connects you with artisans that are closest to you. Because we believe most artisan requests are based on emergency. So we don't want a situation where you request for a service and it's taking hours to get to you. Say, for instance, you have a busted pipe in your kitchen. We know that's an emergency that has to be attended to in minutes. So the geolocation feature makes it easy for you to find someone closest to you, say maybe in the next street or on the same street. So that way they get attended to as quickly as possible. And on the app, you can also see the artisan before you select them. So you can look through their profile. You can see if they fit the description that you want. Look at their rating. Look at the previous jobs done before you select the preferred one. Because like I said, you have a wide range of options to pick from. And then another thing we do differently is we provide security for your money. So over time, we know what you do is the regular way is to send money to the artisan or give them 50% or 70% based on what they ask for. And sometimes they abscond with the money. But for us on our end, we receive the funds on behalf of the user, put it in escrow, and make sure the artisan is done with the job before they get paid. And it's not just when the artisan is done with the job, the user has to certify that they are happy with the job, it's being done to their satisfaction before the funds is released to them. So that way your fund is kept safe. You don't have to start chasing artisans around about, oh, I'll give you 50%, you're not yet. And most importantly, they are forced to give you quality because they know for sure, even after they're done with the job, if you say you're not satisfied with the job, Workman will not release the funds to you.
Okay, I
So
think on the part of quality, I think thankfully Yemi is back, and I would love him to take it from that point of you mentioned quality, and that is a very, very relevant keyword. Over to you, Yemi, please.
All right.
All right, so thank you so much, Chidebere. And it's good to see you and it's good to connect with you. So in terms of quality, in terms of the work that is currently being done from a workman standpoint, right? Let me ask this question because you had mentioned something, quality. Why is trust so difficult to establish? You understand? Because I want you to speak more on the quality here. So why is it that trust is so difficult to establish in the home service market? And why do customers often trust friends' recommendation than an unknown professional? And I don't know if you can help throw more light on this, Chidebere. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. The first reason I would say trust is difficult is because of experience. That's the major reason for why there's a lack of trust or there's a struggle with trusting experience. And it might not just be your personal experience, it might be experience from other people. So if someone has told you there's a certain way generator repairers would repair gen that would make sure in a week later you call them back. Anytime a generator repair comes to your home, there's this skepticism, there's this lack of trust because you've heard it over time that this is what they do and this is how they operate because they want you to keep calling them so they can keep repeating the job. So most times it's based on experience. It could be personal, it could be third-party experience. And I would say people also trust other artisans differently from unknown artisans, again, based on the experience. So if I'm recommending someone to you, I will recommend who I know will do the best job for you because I also have my integrity to protect. And I would recommend someone who has done something similar for me, recommend them to you. And the reason why you would trust that person is because it's most likely coming from someone you trust. So it's that third-party trust that plays the role in that aspect of it. So lack of trust is based on experience, and the reason for trust is also based on experience because it's not a new thing where you pay an artisan a certain amount and they have come with the money. Or another problem is they inflate the prices. That's another problem for lack of trust. They inflate the prices and you cannot really tell who is giving you the right figure or who is trying to make extra buck from what they are trying to do. So that's the major reason for the lack of trust, based on personal experience and based on third party experience.
Thank you so much, Chidemere, for giving us and sharing those insights with us. Right about now, this is 21 minutes after four, and for us to be on this conversation, we also have our sponsors, which obviously is Workman here. So, can we take a small commercial, and once we are back from the commercial, we'll be right back at you. So, thank you.
Imagine the
And thanks
possibilities
again,
when you
Chidemere.
discover Wrkman, a platform that provides top-notch services. In just 5 steps, you can have the Wrkman experience. Step 1. Download the Wrkman app and sign up in just few taps. Step 2. Explore a vast network of reliable and vetted artisans at your fingertips. Step 3. Find the perfect artisans for your needs based on their profile, ratings, and customer reviews. Step 4. Book your desired service with confidence and ease. Step 5. Experience top-notch service from skilled professionals who are passionate about their craft. Rate your experience and help others discover exceptional artisans. Wrkman, your trusted companion on your journey to quality services and customer satisfaction.
Thank you so much, everyone, and we are back. Let's keep this conversation going. And for this question, I will throw to Adedoyin right now. So, Adedoyin, this is a very critical question that I need to ask. So, what should a customer know before allowing a provider into his home? Right. So that is very key. I want you to share with us, what should a customer know before allowing a provider into his home. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that question. I think that when you look at Nigerians and how we can be very skeptical, like Shingi said earlier, I think that for the Workman platform, we have made it easy for them to see everything they need to see and know everything they need to know before letting someone come into their home. I have to mention that when Workman started earlier on, this was one of the major challenge that we had, because people are like, oh, how can I just go to an app, book someone, and let the person come into my home? What if the person is an armed robber? What if the person is a kidnapper? How do I trust these guys that I can just go to their platform and pick up someone? And it's why we've been very open with our verification and KYC process when it comes to bringing artisans on our platform. And also, you won't book an artisan on Workman without seeing their ratings and review. We've learned that people get to trust word of mouth. It's the reason why a lot of people will say, "Oh, do you know someone? Do you know this person? Have you, worked with this person before?" Because Nigerians generally tend to like trust the word of mouth of someone that can vouch for the other person, and we've made that possible through the rating and review system on our platform. So if you go to any artisan profile on Workman, you see the number of jobs that they have completed. You see ratings from the people that have, gotten them to do one or two things for them. You see pictures, like actual pictures of the job they've done, their store, if they have one, their workshop, if they have any. You see everything. You can read the reviews, look at the ratings, and decide like, okay, am I picking this person over this next person, and all of that. So I think basically being able to see that, oh, another person has booked this person and they have something good to say about them. Oh, this is what this person has done before. Another thing that we also try to like reinforce among our artisans is looking professional, being professional, acting professional, because you don't want to go to a user's doorstep looking like a ruffian, looking like, a jump scare. So we try to reinforce this. Artisans on Workman actually show up like very professionally. They speak well, they communicate well, they are very level-headed. I don't know if outside of the Workman experience, if they are a different way to their customers, but we let them know that as long as you're on Workman, you represent the brand, and what you do, how you show up, how you speak when you get to a user's home is very, very important. I think over the years, people have been able to trust that, oh, these people are very professional. Because I've booked an artisan on Workman before that came, and I'm like, oh, are you really an artisan? Very neatly dressed, shirt and trouser, wearing the Workman overall, carrying his toolbox. And I was very stunned, like,
Adedoyin, are you still there? Ms. Adedoyin, I think she has some network issues, right? Chidebere, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Okay. All right. Good. So let's take it from, and maybe I just wanted to have a rider question based on what Adedoyin has been saying. So he says, the artisan, they look good, they speak well. Let me ask you, Chidebere, is there a criteria from an education standpoint that this artisan should be at least a minimum? Just checking based on what Adedoyin just mentioned. Is it just basic SSE, or you go as far as probably ND, HND, or even a full graduate? Probably, this is just a question coming out of what Adedoyin has just said.
Okay, well, for us, we don't necessarily pay much attention to the educational background. What we are more concerned is, are you good at your job? Can you be trusted? And can you be held accountable? So we don't necessarily pay close attention to what educational level they have. What we do is, before bringing an artisan on board, of course, most of the artisans will go and sign up and do our verification. Part of our verification is, sometimes we go to the store or wherever their workshop is to verify that they are really who they say they are, and they really offer these services. And we have then asked them to upload pictures of their previous work done to also show that they are really they really have the experience, or years of experience they talk about. And then we sensitize them, so we don't just leave it to just like I said, we don't necessarily pay attention to the educational level or how far and wide they've gone. We make sure we sensitize them. We don't depend on what they already know from the outside. We give them the workman standard. So we sensitize them. We tell them, we do their yearly sensitization, and there's also a community for the artisans where information is shared with them. So we sensitize them on how they speak, we sensitize them on how they present themselves, and how they can get the job done, and how they show up at the customer's doorstep, basically. So part of the sensitization and presentation is we also give them workman overall. That helps them with their presentation. So that when you present yourself, when you show up at the doorstep, they can tell that this is a workman artisan. And then we teach them communication skills, how you communicate with your user, and how you communicate with the clients, and how you interact with them. So not necessarily do we expect our clients to expect our artisans to speak the best of English, but provided there's clear communication between artisan and user and client, and the job is done to satisfaction, I believe everyone is satisfied with that aspect.
Thank you so much, Chidebere, for that, and for Adedoyin. It was just a rider question based on what you have said, communications. I said, is there an educational level that the artisan should be, maybe graduate, NDSSE? So that is what Chidebere had just thrown more light on. So Chidebere, let me ask you this. So what should the customer and provider agree first before work commences? You understand? So you have gone to the app, you have requested for an artisan and all that. So what should the customer and that provider agree first before work commences? If you can share more light on that. Thank you, Chidebere.
Okay, I think thank you for that. The agreement comes in sequence. But for me, I believe the very first thing that the customer and the provider should agree first is, can you get the job done? So it's not, even if I've seen your rating, I've seen your previous work experience, I've seen all the reviews, my request might be different from what you've done in the past. So even if I say my generator is not coming on, and I explain everything to you, yes, in the past you might have worked on the 1001 generator. But the first thing we can agree on is I've explained the problem to you. Can you get the job done? If we both agree that you can get the job done and I'm satisfied with how you've explained it to me, then we can proceed to the cost of getting the job done. So I would say the very first thing to be agreed on is if the provider can get the job done.
Would you want to share any additional thing are they doing on that? You know.
Yes, I actually quite agree with Chinky about be sure if the artisan can get the job done or not. There are lots of artisans that would lie. Oh, I want to do this, especially carpenters. It's common among carpenters anyway. Oh, I can recreate it. Then you get the case of what I ordered versus what I got. So, being able to agree on this and this and this is what I want. This is the level of detail, the level of quality, and the level of expertise that I expect from you. And oh, yes, I can do it. I think that's like the first stage. Then we now go to negotiation, the price. That is also very, very important because there are cases where in the beginning, an artisan will tell you, oh, this is how much I want to charge for this. Then they start and it's like, oh, you have to bring 10K more, you have to bring 15K more, you have to bring extra 20K. And it's not like the scope of the job has changed in any way. I think this one is common among mechanics, generator repairers, and all of that. So the strong agreement should first be on, can you get this job done? Then secondly, the price. This is how much I'm charging for this job, and this is how much we have agreed on. And I think that should not like have any, except the scope of work changed like while progressing. I don't think there is anything that they should be able to go back on. So like those two factors are very, very important.
Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. So based on what you have just said, and I think this naturally brings me to the next question, which speaks to the fact that you've agreed, the artisan has agreed that this is what he wants to do. The client himself is excited that he has been able to get the person who can get the work done. Now, the person comes over, for example, and probably while he's there is an additional thing that he sees that, oh, because of your competency in this area, it is beyond our initial scope. So I would ask, or changes in the scope or in a scope be managed properly. I don't know if you can help us address this as well. Thank you.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again? You were breaking. I don't think I got it well.
I don't know if I did.
Yeah, I think if I have to go over the question again, it was a couple of.
No. So the question here is, look. Okay. So let me take the question again, and please let me know if you can hear me. So in a situation of additional charges or changes in the scope of an agreed work, how is that managed? Probably I just put it in that way. Did you get me?
Yes. I got you now. How this is very complicated, but it is not uncommon at all. We've had several cases like that, even with our artisans, even with our users. And it's why what we do at Workman is a very, very complicated, it's a very complicated niche. And, as much as we are always like, users have to be satisfied, we also have like the provider facing customer support as well that make sure that everything is balanced. So what we try to do at Workman is we don't say, oh, you need a carpenter. Now you've gotten a carpenter, deal with it. No, we always ensure that every step of the way, our customer support rep, we have about 15 customer support rep, and every one of them is always assigned to each job request. So every step of the way, they monitor what is going on. They ask for updates, both from the provider side and also the user side. So these are the people that usually come in whenever there's any change of scope that requires additional charges. We work with documentation. We always document the quotes that is sent to every user after he or she and the provider has agreed on. This is what we want to do. This is the cost of material. This is the cost of workmanship, and this is the total. So this documentation helps, because by the time you go back to the codes that has been documented and you realize that, okay, this particular tool was not added here, this particular work and everything was not discussed initially. So it gives room for renegotiation, rediscussion. You now tell the customer support, okay, this person was supposed to come in to clean my 2-bedroom, but as they started, I want an extra room to be deep cleaned as well. Then we now start talking about, okay, what is now that extra cost that come in? We always advise that providers should not go ahead and discuss this directly with the user and get the money, because there's been several cases where this has happened, and we might eventually find out that maybe the artisan was trying to be dishonest and just wants to get this extra money from the user. So we discourage it frankly. Whenever the user also reaches out for the this change in scope of work or the extra service that they would need, we make sure that the customer support is there to have this discussion with them, have this agreement with them before okay, it's a thing where it's like the discussion being had all over again. And it's the only way we can manage it, because the user is thinking, does this person wants to extort me? Does this person want to do this? And we also can't, really vouch for the providers as well. We really don't know what the intention is. But like I said, we always make sure that both the interest of the provider and that of the user is considered whenever situations like this come up, and we make sure that our customer support rep is available. They are always available until a job request has been completed. They are always available to know what is going on, and also be there to discuss, to come in when they need to. So that's how we manage that.
Thank you so much. I like the fact that you talk about, documentation. I also like the fact that you talk about customer service. That is bringing a human in the loop. That means there needs to be that human that has to do a lot of conversation. I see that, some of our audiences have already started sending in some questions. We'll take those questions. I see one from Omotosho, Temitokwe, and Cute Splash. We would come and take those questions, but before we take any of this question, I have one question more. For standpoint, what security protections should exist for both customers and providers? Now you are opening your home to somebody that you don't literally know. You are trusting the fact that Workman has done the background check and all, but in a situation of when this person gets home into your home, what security protection should exist for both customers and providers? And that question is to you, Chidebere.
Okay, thank you for the question. I think this is a very critical one, and I would say most times it's security measures to be taken are mainly based on your own responsibility. Like you have to take responsibility for this. Yes, we are bringing reliable artisans that we can trust to you, but that doesn't take away the human factor from everyone. So in terms of security measures, I would say, one, be present when the artisan is doing the job. So don't request for an artisan and then the artisan is doing the job and you leave them and go elsewhere. No one will be able to account for any extra damages that might occur or any missing item. So you have to be present when an artisan is doing the job. This is not to say artisans might steal from you or anything, but your presence also matters a lot. This is from the user's standpoint. And if there are any valuables around the area where the artisan is going to operate on, take them away. Even if this also applies to artisans that are not even on the Workman platform. It's just simple logic. If you are bringing someone, a stranger into your home, they are going to do something around a certain area, and you have valuables around that area, one, is safe to take them away because they might go missing and then you have to start doing the back and forth or he was there, he wasn't there. And it might also get damaged along the way of trying to fix other things. So it's safe to just move those items away. When it is done, you replace them or return them back. And for the artisan standpoint, I would believe going to a user's place, of course, you don't know who the user is, so you have to. Most times, we also advise artisans. Sometimes, if depending on the time of the service, you might want to go with an assistant. Yet, if let's say you are going to do a job that might span into late hours, go with someone else that can assist you. That might be like a second or a second body to you in that place. So while you are working, there's someone shadowing you and everything. But in terms of the security aspect of it for both user and artisan, it's just based on your discretion or based on how you believe would best keep you safe. So again, keep your property safe when an artisan is going to operate within an area. And for the artisan, go at the best time of the day. Don't get the job at one time and then go very late in the day and late hours and you have to work late hours. And if it's necessary that you have to work late hours, it's advisable to go with someone that would just be around that area for you and maybe keep watch on your behalf. So that's pretty much how security is on that aspect.
So thank you so much, Chidebere. Let me just quickly do a quick summary of what you have said. First off, when an artisan is coming, please, the customer, you must be at home, right? Just be at home, just in case, just be at home. Secondly, if you have valuables, please keep them in a safe place. The reason why you have a safe room or a safe storage in a hotel is always keep your valuables there so that it doesn't entice or it doesn't commit someone into doing what he or she is not naturally wants to commit for. And thirdly, and this is also going for the artisans in this case, you are going to somebody's place for the first time, you also will be scared of the customer in question. So when you are going to somewhere that is pretty not too good from a time standpoint, go with an assistant so that that person will have your back, right? So thank you so much, Chidebere. This is 42 minutes after 4, and I think it's a good time for us to take another commercial. So we'll take a commercial quickly. I will back. We'll ask one more question, then we'll open it to the audience and get more questions. So technical, let's have another ad. Thank you.
Toye gets home late at night after a long day at work. He gets home and he realizes every other apartment in the neighborhood has light except his. His frustration had hit its max capacity at this point because he has to round up work on his task before the next workday. Does he sleep in the dark or download the Wrkman app to get a professional electrician around him to connect his apartment's power back? We'll let Toye decide. Wrkman gets reliable artisans around you in a matter of minutes.
Right. Thank you very much. So thanks for that. Apparently, I was muted. I didn't know. Just a quick summary of what Chidebere gave us. 3 key things that was very important in what he has said. The first is from a security standpoint. Please be at home. Always get somebody at home when an artisan is coming. Secondly, keep your valuable things in somewhere safe. I'd said that when you go to hotels, they always have this storage that you put your valuables. And thirdly, if you are going to a customer's place at night or very late in the hour or an unsafe time, please go with somebody else that can assist you while you are there. So this is the final question that I'll throw one more question, then we'll take questions from the audience because I know that there are 2 questions that I have seen. And probably because Adedoyin has talked about this, let me push this question to her. So when is a service job truly complete? I know that you go to the app, you make a request. We've talked about, can you get the job done? A job is done. We've talked about if there are additional charges, changes. We've gotten to know that in terms of the security terms. We've gotten to know that. So when you put that whole body of work together, at what point do we say a job is truly complete? And Adedoyin, please help us here.
All right, thank you so much for this question. And before I go to the question, there is something I would like to add to what Chidebere has said about these, the security measures that is available for both artisans and users on our platform. So for the artisans, there is something that I would like to add, that our team actually monitors their movements during the process. Like whenever a job is ongoing, we can see the location of an artisan from the provider's app, because there's actually a separate app for the providers. So we can see it. The customer support team is also aware that this particular person is at so location doing so job, which is like being greatly monitored by our team. I just wanted to add that as a as a follow up before I go to your question. Now the question being, when
Okay.
is a job completed? We used to say something on Workman. A job is not completed until the user has said it like explicitly that I am satisfied. I am satisfied with this job that this provider has done. I am satisfied. Like if a user has not like, in fact, you can say, oh, you're done this and that. If we've not gotten that sign off from the user that they are satisfied with what you have done, there's no way you are getting paid. Like you are not getting paid at all. And we always want to make sure, like I said, there's a lot of anyhowness in the country. A lot of people just do basic things like, oh, they are done. And we always want to make sure that this thing that you have done, because there was a complaint we received a few days ago. That's why I said that a lot of these issues, they still exist. That's why that we have like a controlled platform. We still go through a lot of this that we have, tried to manage within our team. And it's like, oh, she booked a cleaner, and the person just like, just the basic cleaning that she would do herself in the house was what the person did. And she booked someone for deep cleaning. So imagine we had paid someone like that. When she sent the voice notes, thankfully, the money is still with us. We have to like tell the provider to go back to do the job. There are situations where the provider will be like, no, 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 I'm done, I'm done, I'm done. They will get another provider to like go ahead and complete that job. And to us, you have not completed that job and you won't be getting paid for it because the user wasn't satisfied with the job. So a job is not completed on Workman until a user has said that I'm satisfied with the job that this person has done. Like we try to ask them, are you satisfied? Have you tested this? Have you tested that? And oh yes, I have. This is working. That is working. This is to the tune of my satisfaction. And that's when a job has been completed on our platform.
So thank you so much. Right. Thank you so much. Just we're in Nigeria, and NEPA just showed us how things work in country, right? So okay. I think we are 48 minutes into this, and I would want to take more questions from the audience. I think we saw two earlier, one from Omotosho and another from Kurt Sharp. So probably yes. So this is a question from Omotosho Timitope. She says, when it comes to the price, are we paying the artisan directly or Workman as a company? Also, is there like a refund policy for when artisans do not deliver properly? And I think this speaks to the fact what we talked about. Where do we say the job is complete, right? So let's probably let me hear from Chidebere on this question, and I didn't know you chime in based on what Chidebere has said. So Chidebere, over to you.
Okay, I think this is a great question, and this is something we've had to deal with over the years. And when it comes to the price, are we paying artisans directly or Workman? I think this is straightforward. You don't pay artisans directly on our platform, you pay Workman. And the reason for that is for your security. And this also goes into the security aspect of everything we're trying to do to protect with the user and the artisan. And the reason why you pay us is so that they can give you quality. They would not abscond with your money, and they will be forced to complete the job. I know we have incidents of when you pay an artisan, let's say, some of them would even insist to pay up to 70%, and they won't show up again, or they start to work on their own terms, regardless of how urgent you need the job done. They start working on their own terms. So the reason why you pay us is so that we stay on them, we make sure they complete the job on your own time frame, and they have no reason to abscond with the money. And of course, most importantly, the quality. They also make sure they give you quality, because at the end of the day, if you just like Doing said, if you don't say you are satisfied with the job, you don't get paid. So you have to pay workman for your own sanity in quote. And then the second part of the question is the refund policy. So we have a 30-day money back guarantee for every job done on the platform, provided those jobs are done on the platform. And again, I want to take a cue from what you mentioned earlier when you talked about the scope of the job changing along the way. So let's say you hire an electrician, and the electrician is supposed to change electric sockets around the house. And along the way, you ask them to maybe fix your electric kettle without involving workman in it. We are only aware of the electric sockets. We are not aware of the electric kettle that needed to be fixed. So if anything happens around that aspect of it, workman wouldn't take responsibility for it. So that's what I meant by provided the job is done with workman. So for every job that is done with workman, we have a 30-day money back guarantee. Now within this 30-day period, if you, let's say you get something fixed, and within 30 days, it gets damaged again, the exact same thing gets damaged again, we send the artisan back to fix it again. If they can't get it done, we send someone else to get it done. And in the event where nothing can be done, so we would refund the money. And I wouldn't say it might be total refund, because there are times where equipment or items must have been bought in the process. Say you need an example of electric socket. If you needed to fix electric socket, of course, part of the money would have been used to buy new socket. So definitely a huge percentage of your money will be refunded, while the ones that have gone into the cost of material might not get back to you. But just to make sure we show empathy, we refund your money. But before we get to that refund process, we always make sure we try to redeem the process by sending the artisan back to get it done. If the artisan can't get it done, send someone else to also try and get it done. And in the case where nothing can be done, we just send you back your refund. So that's that. Give that answer to the question.
So thank you so much, Chidebere. I know that there are so many other questions coming up. I see one directly here, and probably I'll throw this to Adedoyin quickly. What location does Workman Services cover, or is it just limited to Lagos? Let Adedoyin respond to that, and while let the Dr. Solomon question flip back. But Adedoyin, this is for you from Miracle.
Hi, Miracle.
So
Thank you
is
for the
what?
question. So
Yeah.
we like to say we are in major cities in Nigeria, because the goal is to actually cover every state in Nigeria. But right now we're in major cities, particularly Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, Port Harcourt, Owerri, Benin City. And what we are also trying to do now is we've started like vetting artisans in other states. So while we might not have artisan in all locations in these states, if you reach out to us, and we might have artisans peculiar to certain location. But majorly currently we are in Lagos, Abuja, Ibadan, Owerri, Benin City as well. But no, we are not limited to just Lagos. In fact, the plan is to cover Ogun State too. Yeah, Ogun State as well. But the plan is to cover all states in Nigeria definitely soon enough.
Fantastic. The plan is to cover all the states in Nigeria, but for now we are in major cities. So think about that major city in Nigeria, and you can be guaranteed that Workman is there and ready to provide the service to you. So this is a question from Dr. Smith Solomon. He says, what are the actual vetting processes, background checks, skill tests, reference checks, or just sign up and review the specifics? I think probably this was something, I don't know who had mentioned this prior to now, but from a specific standpoint, what is done to really do the background check for these artisans? And I don't know if it is Chidebere wants to take a stab at this.
Okay, let me take a stab at it. Thank you, Dr. Smith, for the question. So I would say our verification process of two aspects. We have the virtual and we have the physical. So on the virtual side of it is the KYC. So there's definitely going to be a KYC side of it where artisans are required to provide their information before they can be onboarded on the platform. So they provide their NIN, they provide valid means of identification, they provide several necessary documents that give me thought realize that okay, you are traceable, quote, and if for any reason we know where to find you. Then for the physical side of it is, and like I used the example earlier of their physical store. So if you are a carpenter or you're a mechanic, of course you would have a physical store. Mechanics don't work virtually. So we go to their physical store to see that they actually exist and they actually do the job. This way we know that yes, we're actually doing the job. And of course, every mechanic will have, should I say, ongoing job that we can look at as a first-hand review to see if they are good at their job. So that helps us understand their skill set. And I believe that answers the skill set side of it. So we see the skill set by the jobs we see on ground, pictures of their previous job done, and let's say their work experience. So that also gives us insights to what they've been able to do. So those are the aspects of the virtual aspect, the physical aspect. For reference, of course, they provide us with guarantors that we can reach out to in case of any necessity. Say an artisan has responded with money, or an artisan is not reachable. We can always reach out to their guarantor to help us trace them or track them. And this has happened before in previous times where we could not reach artisan, and we had to reach out to the guarantor. And of course, the guarantor helped us get the person up, and we were able to retrace and retract and figure everything out. So those are the ways we do it. So it's not just about signing up, and of course, we make the sign up process easy where you download the app. But after downloading the app, you then come to us with your valid means of ID, your NIN, and all the necessary virtual documents, while our physical team do their own physical footwork to make sure we have this holistic or all-round verification process to make sure we are onboarding the right people and we are sending the right people out to the public.
That's all right. Thank you, Chidimiri.
Let me also add that we don't recommend a provider for a job until the verification process has been completed. So you can be on our platform, you've signed up, you completed the sign up process and you think you are there, but we limit the amount of job that is open to this set of artisans until the physical verification and every process has been completed. So yeah.
Thank you so much. I would say two-factor authentication, right? 2FA, right? We go visit you in your store and all that, right? We have two questions. So what we will do, right? Let's take this question, this one that is in front of us, the one from Smart Success, and because we are wrapping up, this is less than 2 minutes for us to go. So let's take this question. What happens when the job goes wrong? Who eats the cost, and how fast is that resolved? And how is money resolved? So this is literally a situation of the job goes wrong, and I think someone has already answered this. But for the purpose of Smart Success, let's answer this. Probably I'll throw this to Adedoyin. So you respond to this, and while you respond to this, also give us your parting shot. What should customers look out for, and all that whole conversation. As you respond to this, just give us your parting shot. Likewise, Chidebiri, so that we close for the day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. So I had mentioned earlier that a job is not completed on the Workman app unless a user is satisfied. So what happens when the job goes wrong? Who eats the cost? We take responsibility, and that's why Workman exists, and that's why we are like the platform, bridging the gap between artisan and users in Nigeria. So yeah, we take full responsibility, we take accountability. If there's any cost that needs to be refunded, if there's anything, we take full responsibility. We have a 30-day money back guaranteed, and we have a refund policy that ensures that if a user is not satisfied, we can process your refund. I think it takes 5 to 7 working days, if I'm not mistaken, but every user is aware of the refund policy before they proceed. And yes, we always make sure that we take accountability for whenever anything goes wrong. But what helps us limit this is also the fact that we don't release funds to the artisan unless the job is completed and the user is satisfied. Thank you so much. It's been a great session so far. We are getting a lot of more questions, and we wish we had more time on our hands. But I would also just like to mention that we have the Workman Marketplace. We launched the Workman Marketplace about 2 years ago, and Workman Marketplace is just a place for your home appliances. Let's say you've tried to fix your generator over and over and over again, and it's not coming on, and you would like to replace it. You've tried to fix your refrigerator. In fact, the artisan is already advising that this can be fixed, and you need a place to get it quickly at the best price possible. That is why the Workman Marketplace exists. And we also recently introduced the buy now pay later that helps users buy at prices, at flexible with flexible payment options. Yeah, with flexible payment options. Let's say your generator has broken down, you need to replace it quickly, but it broke down at the completely wrong time, and there's nothing you can do. We have the buy now pay later that help you buy now and pay instrumentally over time. Workman is growing. The innovation is continuing. There's no pause to it, and we hope that every one of you join us along in this journey as we expand our services and also expand our location in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Yemi. I have a question. So allow me to comment at this time. Maybe this will be the beginning of the sign off. Tell me, I'm more interested in. Do you have a referral program? So for our viewers who are watching and are probably asking, "Oh, do you have a referral program? Can I get commission referring customers or artisan? Is there such a program in your marketplace?" I don't know who want to answer that, whether Donyi or Chidi.
Let me take that. So for our referral program, it's seasonal. So we usually run referral campaigns at intervals at certain seasons. So that's when we have that, but we don't have a fixed referral program for marketplace of users. But we are working on the infrastructure to have a fixed referral where you can refer someone and then you get the bonus on the Workman wallet. Because we have a Workman wallet where you can fund and make payments, and then we also give cashback on that wallet. So we're working on an infrastructure where once you refer someone and they use the app, complete the job, you get paid for it. But right now, what we do as in terms of referral is just seasonal campaigns. And once that is going to come up, of course, we put the message out there to our audience for everyone to participate.
Okay, thank you. Just one last question. Yemi, I think you may be interested in this, as many of our viewers will be interested in this. I don't know, unless my memory doesn't serve me right, but I remember that one can download Workman on the App Store or Play Store and get some kind of incentive. Can you probably speak more on that, if that incentive is still on?
Yes.
So our viewers who are here who want to download and also get incentive, is it 3 million or 3,000?
No, it's 3,000 naira.
What exactly?
Yeah, there's a 3,000 naira. There's a 3,000 naira welcome bonus if you are using the Workman app for the first time, which means that on your first job on the Workman app, you are going to get 3,000 naira off. You can use this 3,000 naira to pay for any service that you book, or just pay part of any service that you want to use on the Workman app. So yeah, it's 3,000. There's a 3,000 naira Workman bonus, and there's a cashback. There's a cashback that accumulates in your wallet every time you use the Workman app. This cashback can accumulate so much that you can still use it to pay for other services on the app. Yeah.
Okay, Yami, so I'm going to refer you so you can download. All right, over to you, please.
All right. No,
thank you.
And thank you so much, Adedoyin. Thank you so much, Chidi, and thank you so much, Dr. Archie, because that has also been very insightful. So rather than you just listening and hearing all that has been said in terms of how you can connect an artisan to a particular work or service in your home, you can also download the app and you get some goodies that comes along with it, right? And I think this is what Adedoyin has shared with us. So thank you very much, Adedoyin. Thank you very much, Chidebere. So today's conversation has shown that the home service challenge is bigger than finding an artisan. It's about building a system where the customer knows who is coming, the provider understand what is required, the scope and price are clear, the home or business is protected, the service process is documented, the job is properly completed, and the support remains available when something needs attention. Trust cannot exist without process. Process cannot succeed without accountability, and no home service system is complete without the customers have responsibilities. The providers also have responsibilities. Platform also has responsibility. This is how we move from random referrals to a safer, more professional, and more accountable service economy. Zero stories, just service. And I think that is what Wrkman stands for, and that is what Chidebere and Adedoyin has done for us today. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and we'll see us very, very soon. Bye for now.
Oh, by the way, before you sign out, we have currently over about 1,133 people streaming together with us in this inaugural session. So amazing to you all, and let's do it good next time. See you.
Awesome.
God bless.
Awesome.
Imagine the
Bye,
possibilities
bye,
when you
bye.
discover Wrkman, a platform that provides top-notch services. In just 5 steps, you can have the Wrkman experience. Step 1. Download the Wrkman app and sign up in just few taps. Step 2. Explore a vast network of reliable and vetted artisans at your fingertips. Step 3. Find the perfect artisans for your needs based on their profile, ratings, and customer reviews. Step 4. Book your desired service with confidence and ease. Step 5. Experience top-notch service from skilled professionals who are passionate about their craft. Rate your experience and help others discover exceptional artisans. Wrkman, your trusted companion on your journey.